Today, I'm going to be talking about not deer, the horror of not deer. So before I get into the stories of not deer, I think I need to explain what a not deer is. I was a little confused when I heard about this cryptid because I talked to a lot of people who are into cryptids. And so when they were telling me about not deer, I'm like, what the hell is a not deer? The way they explained it was that it's a deer that isn't right. Like there's something missing from it, or there's something wrong with it. A lot of you guys probably know what uncanny valley is, and how these deer walk on that cusp is their eyes. Some people have said that their eyes are front facing. They walk in a very weird way, almost like they're not used to their own skin. I'll get into that later. Their hind legs are longer than usual. Their teeth are more like canine teeth rather than their regular teeth, and just a lot of different types of features that would make a deer seem not deer-ish. And these sightings normally take place around the Appalachian forest. And so, I mean, this is where this originates from, these stories. If you watch my channel, you probably know what a skinwalker is. I haven't done a video on it yet. I have flirted with the idea. You can leave it in the comments if you want something like that. When it comes to not deer, it really does make you wonder about the skinwalker. Personally, I think it might be another suspect, which is the chronic wasting disease. I found this cryptid to be more sad than scary. I started looking into what chronic wasting disease actually is and what it does to deer, elk, moose, and it has devastating effects on these animals. What happens is that little holes appear in the animal's brain, and it causes neurological disorders and causes them to waste away. They have a skeletal figure about them. What's interesting about this is that the World Health Organization talked about how they don't really want this prion disease mixing in with the human food chain. I went to cdc.gov and I did some research on the chronic wasting disease, and what I found was, to date, there have been no reported cases of chronic wasting disease infection in people. However, some animal studies suggest that chronic wasting disease poses a risk to certain types of non-human primates, like monkeys that eat meat from infected animals, or come in contact with brain or body fluids from infected deer or elk. These studies raise concerns that there may also be a risk to people. Since 1997, the World Health Organization has recommended that it is important to keep the agents of all known prion diseases from entering the human food chain. What I found very intense was the fact that it might be possible for this particular disease to enter our food chain. And this disease is often called a zombie disease. So that is probably the most terrifying part of this entire cryptid. The fact that it's possible for this disease to transmit to humans and make them zombie-like. And I have a story that talks about just that. So I found a Reddit post talking about the supposed chronic wasting disease or not deer, and this Redditor is Sus Gunner. I was hunting with my grandfather for my 19th birthday about a year ago, and we both watched a deer slam its head into a rock until its antlers and skull were shattered. Once its brains were everywhere, it tried to lick them up and looked like it couldn't even use its jaw or tongue right. So it just stood there, upright like a fucking human, and just walked into the river and died. We left immediately, and my granddad was fucking terrified. I haven't been near woods since, and he moved to Florida with my grandmother for safety reasons. I want to hear your thoughts on not deer and chronic wasting disease. Do you think it's a real threat to humans? Do you think perhaps the zombie apocalypse is upon us? Again, thank you for watching my channel. This is Beyond the Known. Please hit like, subscribe, and the notification bell.